What? No. Who said that?
I don't know. I heard it from the grapevine.
Hmm.
I don't have grapes. I heard it from the gumdrop vine. I heard it from the gumdrop vine. Yes, the snowman. It's Frosty. Such a gossip.
Hello, all, and welcome. It's that time of year when we all start to wind down for the holidays while someone else, Santa, is ramping up. So, we got to wondering with all the competency and skill assessment discussions we've been having, labor shortage issues, and the generational impact on the workforce that all businesses are really facing, how might Santa be impacted by these same talent challenges? So now, when I tell you that Minaya Learning Global Solutions has contractors around the world that we work with, I'm not kidding. One of them, the magical being themselves, Santa. So join us as we catch up for a cup of cocoa and have a talent talk with Susan and Santa. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Dario. We are excited to talk to one of our favorite people, Santa. And thank you for joining us for the special holiday podcast.
Susan, I'm so appreciative that anyone even thought about talent in the North Pole. Most just take it for granted that the trains always run on time, and they do, but it has been a rough year for us.
Well, let's start with what's going right then, Santa. So, what is working for you relative to talent retention?
Oh, Susan, as you know, we have had an apprenticeship model here at the North Pole. It is a strong culture of mission and purpose and belonging. For generations, we've enjoyed that, and the elves and reindeer embraced it.
Yeah, and you have always been an inclusive organization, haven't you, Santa? Even before inclusion was really a thing. Like with the annual rescue of the toys at the Island of the Misfit Toys that Rudolph and Herbie helped you discover. You work to find homes for all types of toys every year.
Oh, yes, Susan, thank you for bringing that up. That is something that brings happiness to all of us here at the North Pole to find loving homes for the toys everywhere.
Okay, well, with so much great culture and inclusion, what challenges are you facing, Santa?
Oh, well, it is difficult to keep the younger generation of elves interested in our 2 year toy making apprenticeship program. Take Herbie, for instance. He was a bright and promising elf talent and completed year one of his apprenticeship, but Herbie just wanted to be a dentist. And reindeers now don't want to pull the sleigh. I was just speaking to Rudolph's son, and he's taking an online drone course and bringing up all kinds of ideas to leverage that. He loves it and he's obsessed with that.
That's an interesting concept for Rudolph's son to focus on, huh? Well, for Herbie, is that really so bad? I mean, you have the entire North Pole community to support, so a dentist is probably a good thing.
Oh, yes, there is that. But now the newer generations just don't have the loyalty and commitment to the toy making business. We enjoyed this in the past. They don't want to do things the way the older generations did them. They have access to technology like anyone else, and they get exposed to other ways of doing things. While we didn't have COVID impact as much here in the North Pole, it did introduce the notion of working from home. Now, many of the younger elf talents want to set up their own toy shops in their homes and just work from there on their specialized toy capability.
Wow, that's amazing. I really didn't think about that. So, how does that impact your culture?
Oh, it impacts it a lot. The shop isn't humming when I walk on the toy making floor like it used to. The noise, laughter, and camaraderie feels a little lost. I installed large screens so workers could leverage virtual meetings to meet and do virtual toy making sessions, but it's just not the same. And this is something I've asked Mrs. Claus to help me with because she's really in charge of creating a holiday feeling all year long. But really, now I'm the only one eating all the great food, and I'm packing on the Santa weight, not only during Christmas, but throughout the year. It's not good for my health.
Oh, well, yes, Santa. I think we all feel the impact of working from home for sure in a similar fashion. And it is a double edged sword with pros and cons on both sides, and no definitive answer really, except that we really have to continue to find ways to create that engagement in a virtual world. Well, which leads me to our next question. How is AI impacting your work and your talent?
Great question. Over the last several months, I've asked the team leads for the elves and the reindeer to look into how we can leverage AI to help with our operations. We would never replace any elves willing to work, but we may need to leverage robotics to help with the toy builds and toy delivery challenges we're facing. That might actually help bridge the gap for the elves who want to work from home and put the drone experiment into action. Well, you know, we've also leveraged ChatGPT and learned that it isn't always all it's played up to be. We tested ChatGPT's proposed dust formula, but that blew up our production manager's workroom, which just goes to show you that we still need a human touch and a set of eyes on everything.
I would agree with that. And that's some exciting stuff, though, actually. You really think it's a future thinking for you. But you haven't said much about the reindeer. What about them?
Oh, yes. Well, funny you mentioned that. Rudolph just approached me again last week about the reindeer wanting to work from home. Oh, how can reindeer work from home?
Well, Santa, thinking about the industry you're in, I mean, besides the Christmas spirit business, you are in light manufacturing. There have been a lot of great strides made in that industry in the recent years that you might consider as you plan for next year.
Oh, well, Susan, I am thinking about adapting our apprenticeship model into a more current day model. What do you suggest?
Well, Santa, one of the best places to start when you are really contemplating this kind of a major change is to consider it really an organizational strategy. And a key part of that would be to get input from the elves and the reindeer and your management team. You would also look at best practices in light of manufacturing today and then develop your own roadmap for your future. Guido and our colleagues can help you with that.
Susan, that is such an excellent recommendation. And to add to that, Mrs. Claus suggested that we look into creating North Pole University for our elves and reindeer. And I happen to know that you're one of the best for creating learning strategies. I would like to include a way they can learn from home and just in time. And I would still like to have parts of our apprenticeship model included in the curriculum. Could that be part of a learning strategy?
Yes, Santa, we could definitely include that. Let's schedule some time after Christmas. We do live in Southwest Florida, by the way, as you know, and we have beautiful beaches. So let's consider maybe mid January after things settle down for you.
Oh, Mrs. Claus would surely love that. It would put me on her good list. Well, I look forward to you helping us evolve, Susan. Tell Guido he's on my good list this year, as are you and Dario. I've got to run. So much to do. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Bye, Santa. Be safe. We'll see you in January. Wow, Dario, that was really cool. Who knew Santa faces the same kind of challenges we all do with talent development and organizational culture?
Yeah, and I'm super excited to know we're on the good list because this was pretty long this year. Well, that was fun, and it sounds like January will be fun as well. From all of us at Minaya Learning Global Solutions, we wish you happy holidays and a very happy new year. Until next time in 2024.